In this next chord progression, what we're going to do we're going to expand a little bit. We're going to stay in the major scale, in this case C major, but we're going to move it. We're going to use different chords from that scale we haven't used up to this point. We have our 1 chord. We're going to add a 3 chord, which happens to be E minor in this case, since we're in the key of C, because E is the 3rd, right? C, D, E, and the 3 chord in major scale is minor. Then we're going to have A minor, which is the 6th chord. So this is a 1, 3, 6, 4, which is F, 5, well, G major in this case, and then back to C. And it sounds like this. Okay? Now, let me show you what you can do with that. Obviously, you can drop out any of the chords you want and make up your own progression. Okay, I just happen to choose the 1 chord, the 3 chord, the 6 chord, the 4 chord, the 5 chord, and the 1. But you can just do a 4-5-1, just like this. Okay, what I was doing is just taking part of that chord progression and just using just those 3 chords, the 4 chord, the 5 chord, and the 1 chord. Now, if I transpose even that into a different key, just going from the 4 to the 5 to the 1, or if I move that up from C to, let's say, D flat, well, I would just play a, wouldn't I? If I move that up from D flat to D, it's going to sound like this. So why is that important? Well, transposition is real important, especially if you're accompanying a singer and the singer comes in and says, hey, I've got a really high voice, can you move the song into a different key? Or maybe you're playing for yourself and you happen to be playing one of your favorite songs and you realize that it's a 4-5-1 is the backbone of the chord progression. Well, then you can just say, oh, well, if it's in the key of C and that's too low for me, maybe I can just move it on up to the key of E and I'm still playing a 4-5-1. Okay, so in this case, A major and then B. I'm going to use a B dominant 7 just because I can. You can use dominant 7th. Remember, for that 5 chord, you can make it like a dominant 7th. And then to A. E. Wait, what did I say? Yeah, be A, then B, and then E. So you could go like... And I'm using an E7 there instead of just the E major. I could just use this chord. I could just go... Sorry. That's just a 4, 4, 5, 1, all in the key of E. So the point I'm driving at is you don't have to play exactly. I'm just giving you like a skeleton. I'm just giving you just a to point you in the right direction, and I want you to take it and expand on it from there, and take it into all different types of keys and use different chords. And you can just pick out which chords for this particular chord progression you like. I mean, you can just use, like for that example, I was using the 5 and the 4. You could just use, you could leave out the 3 and just use a 6, 4, 5 in the key of C, would sound like this, A minor, and then 4 would be F, and then G, and then C. So it's like this. Now what if I made the 5 chord dominant 7? It'd sound like this. Here's my dominant seventh. Right? So that gives you an idea. Whenever you see that 5 chord, you can always use a dominant seventh as well. So what I want you to do is take that chord progression, the 1, 3, 6, 4, 5, move it into different keys, take out certain chords and just play like a 4-5, or just play like a 6-4-5, or just play a 6-5, any combination you want. Play around with it and really start to kind of get in your playing how you can take just 2 chords and write an entire song. I mean, there have been plenty of bands that have made millions of dollars off of 3-chord songs, okay? And you can do the same thing, maybe not make $1 million, but you can definitely write your own music using these different chord progressions.